So the next piece of syntax we'll cover with classes are getters and setters, also known as object accessors. They are a special piece of syntactic sugar that makes it easy for us to add some additional logic in or to create synthetic properties, essentially, that they look like a property. For example, I could call player1.fullname, and I could possibly get back blue steel as a single return value, but there is no property called full name. Now, of course, I could define a method, full name, but that's not what I'm talking about. With a getter, I can write something that we call as if it's a property that then runs some corresponding logic as if it were a method. So I think it's easier just to show this. Let's make a full name getter. So the way that we do this is we use the get keyword first, and then a space, and then the property name, like full name, and we treat it as a method. So it's just a method that we put get in front of. And then in here, I'll just return a string template literal that has this dot first with a space and this dot last. Just like that. Okay, so again, we don't call this with parentheses. We don't treat it as a method down here. We simply treat it as, let's do player1 dot full name, as if that was a property that we defined. And that's essentially what we're doing. We're telling JavaScript, hey, help me make this a property called full name. But behind the scenes, it's actually going to be computed, right? This dot first, space, this dot last, and we see blue steel. Okay, so that's a getter. We could also define a getter for score, because right now we have get score, which is kind of clunky. But what if we just had get and then space score, and then in here we return our private property, this dot hash symbol score. So this is going to do the same thing at the end of the day. It exposes the value publicly, but this is a much cleaner syntax because now I can treat it as if it was a property. Instead of get score, all that I would do is access player1 dot score, which doesn't exist as far as the properties we've added, right? We have hash symbol score, but that's private. I can't access that. But by doing get score, we now have access to what looks like a property called score. We don't need parentheses. And there we go, we got 0. So at the moment I have a getter defined, but I'm not allowed, or I don't have the ability to suddenly say, actually, player1.score equals this number, right? If I then try and print out player1.score, it's completely ignored what I did here. It stays 0 because I only have a getter. So that means we need to talk about setters.